It's never been easy.
I'm feeling it.
It's your boy, na.
Stash on the bed.
It's your boy, D.A.E.V. It's never been easy to stay in love with you. Venanga mutima ukali upanya because of you. Ever in memory lane, it feels like yesterday. When you say I do, baby boy, I am the one for you. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. No, they don't know what we've been through when I'm new. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. No, they don't know what we've been through when I'm new. Now tell me, do you remember, baby? Madezi ya kudala, baby. I brought you letters, Bakachungulo, I brought you flowers. It's a journey what we been through, baby. Nika journey what we been through, baby. Baby, niwe fighter, soldier. Number one, ukumutima, my lover. You my ride or die. You forever by my side. Pasa kusanka, ninga sanke you again. Niba nakateka, kumutima wanga again. But I should let you know, it's never been easy to stay in love with you. Venanga mutima ukali upanya because of you. Never in memory lane, it feels like yesterday. When you say I do, baby boy, I am the one for you. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. No, they don't know what we've been through when I'm new. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. No, they don't know what we've been through when I'm new. Kula inalokelapo, foi babana kambilapo. Bambilisi bana bilifepo, but we are here, mami. Suna chiteko vachoncho, foko nandalama. Yemutima una sanka, that's why I am happy loving you. Pesha ya kwele, yeah, I will be with you. Bayese ba kwele, yeah, I will fight for you. Pesha ya kwele, yeah, I will be with you. Bayese ba kwele, yeah, I will fight for you. And I should let you know, it's never been easy to stay in love with you. Venanga mutima ukali upanya because of you. Ever in memory lane, it feels like yesterday. When you say I do, baby boy, I am the one for you. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. No, they don't know what we've been through when I'm new. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. They don't know what we've been through when I'm new. Bayesa kupanya,
I'm feeling it.
bayesa kupanya.
See, Mac, Mr. Dazzle.
Stash on the bed.
It's your boy.
Welcome live to Channel A TV. Sorry about that. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We're so appreciative of what's going on in the community. We would like to definitely thank you for tuning in right now. Before we take off, and I know that we look a little bit sketchy there because of the background stuff, but stay tuned. We'll be right back, and then we'll take off and introduce what we have going on. Stay tuned. We'll be right back here live at Channel A TV. All right. Let's see here if we can focus, because it sounds like there was so much stuff going on here. And this is welcome to live presentations. We do have an exciting day here. And of course, when you're live, that's when everything goes crazy. So let's see here. Excuse me for a second. And we got to just focus. and just make sure that everything is being done the right way. Um, as we proceed here real quickly, so excuse me for that, we have a very, very exciting program today. We have the rare opportunity to bring in presidents from all over the United States who are Zambian, who are making a difference in the community. And so this is life, so anything can go down. So we might take it whichever way we want to spin it. We might introduce the number for you to call in as you are watching this broadcast. We might actually give you the opportunity for you to ask questions, because leadership comes with openness, right? So these gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, they're open, and they're doing all the great service for us to make sure they lead us in the right direction. So I'm so excited to introduce the next guest without wasting too much of your time, because we want to make sure that we have enough time at the end to have everybody log in and ask questions. So this gentleman, I've known him for many, many years, but thank goodness the COVID is not so bad, because he allows me to talk to him as many times as I could than we actually meet in person. So his name is Mr. Noah Jovu, all the way from the great state of Indiana. Mr. Jovu, welcome to the program. I'm sorry for starting the show a little bit shaky, but that's what I love about doing stuff live, because anything can go down. How are you doing, my brother?
Oh, doing good. I'm actually pleased again to take this moment and few times to share with you on the radio show. So I'm actually very pleased, and thank you. Don't worry about the technicalities. We are pleased that we have this platform.
For sure. So I've known you for many, many years. Some people are just, if I can use that word, they're just ordained to be leaders. And for many years, you've been just in the trenches, just making sure that you're leading folks in the right direction. So today we're honored to have you, because we're talking about something called Zanus. Tell us a little bit, just briefly, about what Zanus means and why you thought it was important for us to have it in the community.
Thank you again for this opportunity. And let me start by saying we are living, these times are tough for almost everybody out there, because I think COVID-19 has changed the way we look at things, the way we operate, the way we handle business. It's just an ongoing dynamic situation that is just, we don't know exactly how things are going to end up. I think maybe a few months, 3-6 months, a year from now. So as leaders, we are doing everything possible under the banner of Zanus to work together to promote the spirit of one Zambia, one nation. So Zanus was officially formed in 2018. This is a partnership or a think tank for the association president. We thought of having a platform where we could leverage our numbers and get all the leaders to be in one room or on one platform, so that at least we can share what are the best practices, what is working well, for instance, in one state, and what is not working, so that we avoid duplicity of ideas. And also at the same time, we try to look at the best practices for us to better serve our communities. So that's why Zanus was created, just to help association leaders to be in sync with one another, to be on the same platform, and just to share best practices as we lead our respective associations in different states.
Absolutely. Now, we do have a lot of great presidents in all parts of this country, from Indiana to Washington to California, all the way across. Why do you think, in your opinion, it's important for us to come together and work as a collective instead of working as individuals? Because we're taking the same blueprint of how the United States works, right? So the government, the states have their own governance, but then they also operate together as the federal government. So why do you think it's important for us to simulate that level of operation?
Thank you for the question. It's very important for us to work as a team, because they say if you want to go alone, there's only so much that you can go, so much distance that you can cover. But when you work with others, there's just so much that you can do, because you learn from others. You are able to be cheered on, you're able to be inspired, you're able just to be motivated. So it actually helps when you take the path of wanting to associate with others. Nowadays, they say you network with others, so that at least you see what is the best part. Because sometimes you could be focusing on one thing, and then yet somebody else has done that, has taken that road. So you find that you are trying to work in this direction. Meanwhile, there's a shortcut. So when you partner up with others, you are able to bring more than one head to the table. So when you do that, you increase the level of intelligence, you increase the level of ideas. At the same time, it's much easier and much faster to accomplish a task. So when we work with the association leaders across the United States, we are bringing diversity of ideas. We are bringing different men from different background, different expertise, different career choices. Some of us will work in health. We have engineers on our team. We have IT professionals. We have just different folks from different levels of background. So when we come to the table, we actually can achieve more. So this is why we try to encourage association presidents to share ideas so that at least when we work as one, we are able to achieve more, because leverage the numbers. I think that way you end up expediting the process, unlike when you have to take the road by your own. So we just encourage leaders to work as one. And this is why I think as Zanus, because there are certain things that I do not know, so I'm able to learn from others. So we encourage partnership and collaboration of putting our ideas and our resources together. So that's the main gist and where Zanus comes from, because we believe that in order for us to achieve our common goal or objective, we have to look at what bring everybody on the table, because we don't want to be working in silos. This is why we are partnering up with other association leaders, so that at least we are both on the same page. They know what's going on and we are sharing ideas. So that's why we are partnering with everybody.
Excellent, excellent. So that I know that we are limited with time because we have to cover all the states. So, but real quick before we bring in the next guest, there's something that sparked this organization. It is, for us to do this. By the way, I'll call this historical because it's never happened before, where all the presidents come together and work as a collective. So, why are we here now working together? What brought us here together specifically for this year?
Yeah, specifically for this year, we are because. Let me back up by saying this. Last year, we started an idea of wanting to have what you may call a mother independence party function, where we meet in one location. Because last year we met in Atlanta, Georgia, with under the president leadership of President Bela Agonia. So some of us, like myself, I was able to travel to Georgia. The then president of Illinois, Mr. Blair Siajunza, and also the DMV, you hear from these people later on. 5 or 6 of us traveled to Georgia last year to support the Atlanta Association, because they partnered up with, I think, the Zambian leadership group. So this year, because of the COVID-19, we thought, since travel is restricted in most areas and we don't want to expose our people to this pandemic and this virus, so we thought of having the same, the continuity of what we had last year, but the only difference is that we are not going to meet in person. So President Fred Kazembe and the Dallas Association, they are actually the ones who came up with the idea that, hey guys, why don't we have a virtual independence party? So Fred reached out to me, and then being the association president for Zanus, I pitched the idea to the other leaders, and everybody was on board. So this is why this time we are on this platform to promote and at the same time to inform our leaders, our communities, the initiative that we're working on. We are putting up a joint collaboration. This is an event which is being organized by all the leaders from different associations across the United States. So we are in the process of finalizing everything. So right now we have 4 teams. We have the logistics committee. You hear a little bit, I think, in the program from the logistics committee. They are looking at how the event itself is going to be carried out. What do we need in place? Who do we need to call? And things like that. We also have a marketing and promotion committee. These are looking at the website, the flyers, and all those things, like how are we going to promote the event. So we also have the talent and speakers committee. These are folks who are looking at what type of talent, what type of people do we have in our communities, because this time around we are operating, or we are pushing the agenda of youth empowerment. So we are trying to reach out to different stakeholders, people in our communities, to come on board and to showcase the talent, the skills that our people have, not necessarily here in the United States, but also in Zambia. So in a nutshell, we are working together as association leaders to have a joint independence celebration, which is going to be hosted, of course, virtually, like on this platform, thanks to DC Production and ATV. So we are just trying to ensure that we have everything that we need and all the expertise, all the technicalities, because there's just so much that goes on in putting up an event like this. So this is why we're just trying to bring, again, all the leaders to the table, so that at least we can move as one, and of course, again, tap into the expertise and all the resources that were out there. Because if we were just to do it, for instance, here in Indiana alone, I don't think we'll be able to do it justice. But when we leverage our numbers, get all the association presidents on board, then we're able to achieve more. So that's why we are working together this time around.
Excellent. So in a nutshell, you're saying you're excited, and people should
Very
be
excited.
Very proud of the Zambian Virtual Independence Party as a collective, the whole United States doing it together. So we love it. We love it. So we're excited to learn a little bit more about that, but we have to go through the lineup. I'm so excited to introduce this young man all the way from Dallas, Texas, President Kazembe. Welcome. How are you doing, my brother?
Doing well, thank you.
All right. Welcome. Tell us a little bit, how are the stats looking when it comes to COVID-19 over there in Texas?
Yeah, I guess, that's a very good question. Right now, we have about 330 cases in Texas as far as confirmed COVID-19. So, right now it's peaking. It's not looking great. We're continually trying to focus on the message of social distance, stay at home, wear masks. We've been able to also get some masks for our associations made.
Turn it around so we can make sure you see the flag. Turn it around.
Sure.
Yeah. So, okay, incredible. So he has the Zambian flag on it. Okay, that's incredible. Sir. Excellent. So is that one of the initiatives for your organization to fundraise, to turn around and put money back into the community, or to what's the motive behind doing that project?
Sure. Actually, with this, it all started with my mother-in-law actually made these for my association executive. And then when I came back to Dallas, I reached out to the executive saying, seeing the feedback we received from media, from our community, just being interested in the way the masks looked, and they wanted, to know if we were able to make our own and sell it to the community. So we are looking at that idea to see, the costs involved, and then potentially the number of people that would be interested in buying, to ensure that we make that, return of profit at the end of the day. Well, not profit, but I guess return the money that we spend in making those masks. So we are looking at the idea and see how it's going to work.
Excellent. And one of the reasons why we thought, presidents should be coming, together on platforms to share ideas is exactly what you just mentioned right now, because we do have a lot of folks in the community with a lot of access to things and a lot of creative, minds. But then the problem is that we are fragmented. So if we don't come together and bring ideas together, then that makes it difficult for us to move forward. So of COVID-19, if you're watching, thank you for tuning in. We are live here at Channel ATV, working in partnership with Zanus this time around to make sure that we bring you this broadcast to where we can involve every president from the Zambian Association across the United States to make sure that they give us the information of what's happening in the community. So speaking of resources, we also at Channel ATV have resources of, we get different grants and different opportunities to make sure that we turn around and help the community. So we do have different types of things that we can donate to the community. We have sanitizers, we have all types of masks, If I can go like this without messing up the camera. Those are recyclable masks, but we also have these custom-made masks. If you live in the state of Washington, please reach out to us. If your community is in need of masks or even food, we do have access to that. Please feel free to reach us to and find out more information. So, Mr. Fred, you're one of the originators of the ideas of Zambians working together when it comes to the independence.
Right.
What are some of the success or even the challenges that you're facing right now as you get ready to move forward?
Well, that's a great question. The success has been just the number of positive feedback we've received from the presidents, just as the president of Zanus alluded previously. He mentioned, we are all collectively trying to work together around this idea of uniting from the president's corner and emphasizing to our community to ensure that we are in a pandemic, so we want to provide a independence, right? We still want to celebrate, and unfortunately, we cannot be in one room and physically have a independence party, but we can still be able to do that through social media and deliver a message at the end of the day, which is, we're looking at the theme of the youth empowerment. So the success has been the number of presidents that have come along to the idea. The number of presidents that are sharing some of the ideas in expanding the process, the event planning, the committee planners, and trying to understand which companies we want to work with in Zambia and which companies we want to work with over here that are open to that communication. As far as the challenge, I think it's been, not being able to physically meet with some of our local leaders as well currently, as most of them are also concerned about the COVID-19 just as much as we are. So it's all about trying to figure out the best possible way to communicate, whether it's via phone, via text message, and use these platforms as a way to get more ideas. There's a lot of companies and people within our community that are doing really great things, like the Daliso Foundation, which is being led by Mr. and Mrs. Carrera here in Dallas. These guys are supporting kids back home, with clothes and other necessities. We also have the Kara Foundation, which is led by Miss Kara Chanda, great woman, not only supporting children in Zambia, but also looking at other parts of Africa as well. So, and then we also have a gentleman named Jay Israel. He has a company, a fitness company, a gym, again, promoting health. As much as we're trying to social distance and stay at home, he's promoting a way of, still be healthy, eat healthy, work out. So there's still some great positivity coming out of, the whole process. But overall, we're continuing working.
Absolutely. Well, we are glad to have you, Mr. Fred. And I know you're a very young man. I'm going to ask you this, being a young man and leading all types of folks from the kids all the way to folks in the 70s and 80s, how has it been for you, briefly? How has it been for you learning as you go?
Well, that's a great question, because when I initially became president this year, I realized that even just my own executive team is made up of folks that are older than me and folks that are younger than me. One thing I realized quickly was being able to have an open mind. And at the same time, I'm still learning. I'm not perfect, but it's a process where you have to be willing to listen to everyone and get criticized. Constructive criticism is great for learning, and just being in a position to correct yourself and keep moving, not being able to be in a position to quit, but be in a position to learn from those mistakes, as well as learn from the good things that you're doing to continually improve on those things.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're glad to have you, and please stick around because we're not done with you. Folks are waiting to ask as many questions as they can because we don't get an opportunity to hear from everybody at the same time. So we're going to leave Texas and go all the way to Atlanta and bring in my brother here, the great Bela Agonia. Welcome to the program, my brother. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Good to see you as well. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are excited to have you because you have something coming up as early as this week. Actually, today's Sunday, so this week, you're leading this group that's under AZA, a group of women who came together and created something awesome, which is something that I want you to talk about a little bit because you know more information than I do. All I'm doing is just doing the production part of it. So, welcome. It's good to see you. And talk a little bit about what's going on within the state of Georgia and how things are as far as your community.
Okay, no, thank you for giving me this opportunity. So overall, the community, we have been impacted by the COVID-19. Some individuals have lost employment opportunities, or they've seen their businesses take a hit in terms of just the financial viability of their businesses, and that has also impacted our financial base, because we rely heavily on our donors within the community to support us. So we are struggling as an association in terms of revenue coming in just to keep up with operations such as the websites and any other communication platforms that we have. But on the plus side, we have quickly adapted. For example, we're continuing our partnership with Atlanta Zambian Women of Influence. This is our fourth year in terms of partnership with trying to support them to raise funds to provide access to education to vulnerable and orphan girls in Kapirimposhi, Zambia. So that's going very well. So we're very excited that they've put in that effort to make this event a success next Saturday. So we're asking everybody within the US and outside the US to please tune in this Saturday at 3 p.m. On the Atlanta Zambian Women of Influence page, and of course channel ATV, and just see the great event that they've set up, and of course support the initiative to educate our girls in Zambia so that they can be empowered and also become contributing members of their respective communities. So overall in Atlanta, things are going well. We have a lot of nonprofit organizations that are still operating. A good example is Touch of an Angel, led by Chanda Mutale. She's continuously collecting items for babies and mothers on the Copper Belt. Of course, we're always excited about our entrepreneurs. Atlanta has a lot of Zambian entrepreneurs who are doing great stuff in the areas of transportation, farming, which is like very exciting for us because we have a Zambian who has bought a farm and he's actually growing goats, selling eggs.
Wow.
He has import, so that's an exciting time for us here in Atlanta. So we're out cheering him on and wishing him success. So those are some of the things that are definitely going on within our community.
That is very inspiring for me to learn, and that's why I like media, because we get to find out a lot of stories which are untold within our community. We have a lot of ideas and great works within the community, but we don't amplify that. So I think if you continue on the path supporting the ladies and supporting the youth as you are doing, I think Zambia is going to be in very, very good hands. So we're definitely excited. And I know that most of the folks, when we started this broadcast, they were asking about the video that we played. The young man is called Dave and is all the way in Zambia. And so there's just so much talent back in Zambia and in Africa in general. But the diaspora has an opportunity to present and amplify some of the works back home. So in Atlanta, I know that you've been doing that for a long time. You partner with other community members and bring artists all the way from Africa and to give them the opportunity to come and perform. So who are some of your favorite artists? Not to put you on the spot.
Let me see. My favorite artist, I think Ephraim tops the list. Okay. Just given, I think his approach to producing music is very different. We had him here in Atlanta. He came in September of last year, and he came with a live band, which is very different from what we've had here in Atlanta in the past. So having a live band with an artist from Zambia really gave us a different taste of music that we typically wouldn't otherwise have. So going forward, we really want to support our Zambian artists when they're coming to the US, to support them with coming with live bands, because we understand there's an added cost to that aspect of having a live band perform with you. So even us as local associations, we definitely have to adapt and be supportive in terms of raising our budgets that we allocate to our artists when they come here, so that we can really see their talents. Because our artists in Zambia, they're very talented, but even when they come here, we really need to improve on how we support them in terms of giving them the necessary infrastructure to put up a great and memorable show. So I think that's why I would say Ephraim, because his approach when he came to Atlanta was very different and unique from what we've had in the past. So we're hoping that he serves as a template on the minimum requirements for artists that are coming to Atlanta in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Ephraim is a friend, and he might be watching. We'll give him a call and give him your sentiments after this. But as we take a break, we're going to go back and show a little bit of some of the great works being done by the women right there in Atlanta. So when we come back, we're going to swing back to my own state of Washington and talk to the president of Aziswa right here in the state of Washington. Thank you, Mr. Bela. Hang tight, and we're going to show what the great women of Atlanta are doing right on the ground in the mother Zambia. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching us from within the United States, thank you so much. If you're watching us from Africa, I see some of the folks watching from Africa and Europe. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back.
The Atlanta Zambian Women with Influence, Mary Fulano Foundation, helping orphans. Let us all take care of the orphans around the world. Initikula epanga, yo yo yo. Let us educate them, let us sponsor them, let's protect their human rights. Initikula epanga. Yelele mama, yelele mama, umwana wa shiwa. Educate them, let us sponsor them, let's protect their human rights.
Welcome live. This is Davis Shira right here at Channel 8 TV. Shout out to Chester all the way back in Zambia for putting that song just custom made for the ladies in Atlanta for the show that's coming up on Saturday. If you have nothing to do, or even if you have something to do, I definitely encourage you to watch the show coming up on Saturday. It'll be live here on Channel 8 TV and of course on the ASWI page as well. So you can catch that on YouTube. It'll be live featuring Chester, Richie Beasy, Afunika, plus many more. Angela Nyirenda, not to forget. So with this program continuing on, I'm so honored and so humbled to introduce this gentleman. I've known him for many years, Mr. Zakiyan Gomer, right here in the state of Washington. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, Mr. Chiro, and how are you? And how's everyone else doing?
Yeah, everybody's doing great. It's good to have you, and I'm glad that you could make this broadcast as well. Because can you imagine if we did this and then Washington is not representing? How would that
go? It wouldn't go very well. But right. Here we are.
Yeah, but we're practicing what we're preaching, right? Which is coming together as a collective and do things as a community. So tell us a little bit. What is Aziswa?
Well, Aziswa stands for the Association of Zambians in Seattle, Washington. And we are an organization that was put together to really meet, or at least, go for the grassroots effort in trying to stamp out hunger, poverty, health issues that our community here in Washington may be going through, and so on. And basically we a community came together, and as President Noah mentioned in his brief introduction, if you want to go, how did he put it? If you want to go far, go as a group. If you want to go alone, I forget how he put it, but the other way around. Exactly. So we figured as a group, we can go far, we can get much done, and which is why we are here.
Absolutely. And I know that you're a man who doesn't like to speak, and you don't like definitely to be put on the spot, but leadership comes with the responsibility of being seen and being vulnerable. And this is why we a person like myself will come in and try to encourage folks to be seen. And you've done a tremendous work of just amplifying people's stories. I'm one of the recipients of the awards from the organization, many years ago for some of the stuff that we've done in the community. Why is it important for you to include the women and the youth and a person like myself, just recognizing people and showcasing a little bit of a talent that they have?
It's very important. First of all, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. Yeah. So meaning if we leave out anybody, guess what? We're all going to fall apart. So the key here is to build everybody up, lift everybody up. So the women, the youth, the men, we all work as a team. So we grow, and we get stronger that way. Right. So we do recognize that. So we want our chain to be really strong.
Absolutely. So Zambians are known of having fun, and obviously each time we get the excuse to get together, there's got to be music, there's got to be dancing and things like that. So doing it virtually, what do you plan to do as a family? And I know you do a lot of cookouts at your house and all that stuff. How has the COVID impacted you? Because I know you love to bring people together. So how are you handling this as a family now that you can bring up a whole bunch of people to your house and hang out in the backyard?
Well, we are following, what the authorities, what the directives are that are coming from the authorities with regard to helping fight the pandemic. It's changed everybody's life, but we are not going to be defeated. We are rising to the challenge. We are going to defeat this COVID-19, and so. We've had to step back. Everybody has had to step back. People are working from home, where people are having to wear masks, and fights have erupted in places just because somebody doesn't want to wear a mask. And, people want to, there are a lot of things that we have changed, but it's important that we do what we can to get rid of the pandemic.
Absolutely. So I know that I'll proudly say this. I know that you're an engineer and you participate in building all these infrastructures within the United States. So is it easier for you to fight the pandemic or to build all that? Because you've told me crazy stories at work where you're mounting all these things and drawing all this crazy stuff. Is it easier for you to do your job than to avoid the pandemic? What's easier between the two?
Well, with or without the pandemic, safety always comes first at a job site. I mean, you walk into any heavy construction site, safety first. And, some of them even have a sign, you come here to work, we don't want to lose you. We don't want to lose you. We don't want to harm you. We don't want you to get hurt. So I think even in the era of the pandemic, that has been amped up now. So we are required to wash our hands, wear masks, maintain social distancing, check our temperature on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Again, it's a big inconvenience. I mean, because with working at a heavy construction site, sometimes you got to pick up heavy pieces of equipment, heavy pieces of construction materials, and being 6 feet apart sometimes doesn't really work. But those are some of the challenges we're having to work our way through, and so far it's been good.
Absolutely. Before we turn on to the next president here in line, we're going to go to the state of Florida. But before we do that, I wanted to talk to you about something that's very unique. This is one of those uncomfortable things that we have to talk about, but unfortunately we have to, and that is death. Death is real, mortality is real, and here within the state of Washington, the Zambians came together and secured the platform where you have insurance that's been working for many years. Other states, they don't have that access to where, they have that organized system where, they're contributing towards a certain, structure, if you will, so that if we lose someone in the community, and I've witnessed it myself, you and I have witnessed that within our community where we lose someone and insurance kicks in to alleviate some of the funding that's supposed to be coming from the community. The community still come together, but then we have a system in place where we get some assistance to make sure that we send people in the resting place amicably. So what would you say a state that has not a structure like that put together, what would you advise them to do to secure what we have in the state of Washington?
I think it wasn't easy putting the infrastructure, if I can call it that we have here in Seattle. But I think the key thing that other organizations, other presidents across the country need to build between themselves and their community members is a sense of trust. Do your job with integrity, do your job diligently, because if I come up with an idea and I want my community to rally behind me, people have to see those qualities in me.
Correct.
They have to know, yes, we want to trust Zakiyan, and I've been fortunate to have earned the trust of the Zambian community here, which is how come we were able to put in cultural benefits, insurance coverage for our community, and we've had it. We're going on 6 years now. Wow, we've had it for 6 years now, and this year, because of the pandemic, we were able to secure funding from outside organizations, and we ended up paying for the first 6 months for everybody who's under the coverage. And I am gonna talk to the board here to see if we can end up paying for the upcoming 6 months. So we end up paying for the whole year for our community. And like you say, yes, we've seen it work in our community, and it worked. It did a great job for us, and we want to keep that going. And if anything, there are a lot of people who actually want to come on board. We even have Zimbabwe on board. We have Kenyans on board that are participating in our coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching and listening to this, this is a special coverage of the presidential, presentation of what they can do in the community and what leadership looks like when you work together as a community. So thank you so much, Mr. Zakiyan. I know that you're not going away. There's no barbecue for you to go to, so hang tight. And when we come back, we have some questions from the community members. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to go back to the state of Florida and find out what's going on there. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us. I know that many of you are watching from different places within the United States and overseas, obviously. So thank you so much for supporting us. This is a great opportunity. Look at it this way. Most of us may not have the time to attend those meetings that are held in our community, but now we have a presentation and a platform where we can all come together and ask questions from to the leaderships and from the leaderships, and don't worry about what that looks like. If you have a question, if you have an idea, please come forward and present it to the leadership so that you could be heard and you could be seen. If we sit back and just point fingers, it's not going to be a solution, but part of the problem. So as we move forward, I'm so delighted to bring in my brother here all the way from Florida, Brother Charles. It's good to have you. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shira. It's a great pleasure to be here.
All right, thank you. So I know that Florida right now sounds scary, just hearing the name or the word. How are the things looking like within your community when it comes to either mortality or just the numbers of COVID-19?
The COVID-19 situation is pretty bad right now. We have around 348,000 cases and about, as of this morning, 4,980 deaths. So we've been greatly impacted. We have a lot of people working in healthcare and they're at risk of contracting. And we have people that, are out of work because of the COVID situation, places shut down. So we're greatly impacted. And a few of our members actually caught COVID-19. Yes, fortunately, we have not registered any fatalities among the Zambian community from COVID-19 that we know of.
But we do have cases within the Zambian community that are impacted. You and I have a mutual friend and a great person that was a victim of that. But thank God, they are doing well. So when it comes to the support that you're giving the community, your own community, Zambian community in Florida, what are some of the efforts that you are making as a group to support the folks within the community?
First, we're trying to adjust the new normal. So, of course, we are trying to do the recent meetings we had where we are discussing life insurance. We had them on Zoom. So we're trying to encourage social distancing. We've had a few bereavements in the community. We've been encouraging, people. We just had a memorial service a few days ago. We lost a mother in Zambia. So we had that on Zoom as compared to normally we would visit the bereaved families' houses. So we are trying to get by with the new normal. So and we are trying to share any information of, let's say, the impacted small businesses where they can get help, and those who need help with applying for them. We encourage them to say so that we have a few experts who can help with that. You have people that have various skills, and we're just sharing any useful information that we can about COVID, responding to COVID. Yes,
that's great. And I know that you're a great leader, and you're also part of OZA as well. So how has it been for you to make sure that you cater to the community, your local community, and then also cater to the broader community as well under OZA? How are things going when it comes to that?
Oh yes, the Zambian and Florida Association, or caters for the state of Florida, but some of the problems that we may have here, there are other people who may already have solutions for those. So there's a great need for networking. So belonging to the Organization of Zambians Abroad, it's it kind of provides a bridge where we can network with other individuals. So because OZA has individual memberships, unlike Zanus. Zanus has association membership. So Zanus it brings associations together so that we can network, like President Noah and President Kazembe said, where we share our programs and we share opportunities, and we can collaborate on events. Let's say if we bring an artist from Zambia, we communicate that information, and then we see how we can leverage that so that other associations can maybe engage them, and maybe we can space our independence celebrations so that different people can attend different celebrations. So just a concerted efforts to strengthen what we do in our local associations. So the purpose of all Zanus is to strengthen the local associations provision of what we need as a community.
Absolutely. Very well said. So we're excited to have you, and we're excited and appreciative of all the efforts that you're making within the community. And I'm going to swing back and go to President Irene to make sure that we also...
And just a quick mention, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, in Florida too, we have all sorts of people professionals and people doing different things.
Of course.
So with a lot of entrepreneurs, actually we have somebody making masks too. Miss Rudia Kalawash is making masks, and we've got people involved in fashion and provision of food from Zambia. Miss Matilda Lucas does that, and we have Miss Duma Nyerenda actually provides organic foods. She also grows impo and all that. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs and artists too, like seasoned MCs like me and Mr. Francis Kombe, DJ Brian Walia, and Muzia. So it's a mix of different professionals and entrepreneurs.
I love that. I love that. We definitely wouldn't pass on that. I was going to circle back with you when we come back as a collective to make sure that we highlight all those folks. But great job for doing that. And I know that DJ Simani lives in Florida as well, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Simani is in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. Yeah, but these guys are all over.
Welcome to Florida.
Okay, sometimes you can't even keep up, but the bottom line is we have great folks within the United States who are originally from Zambia who are doing great work. So when we come back, Mr. Charles, we're excited to learn more about more details. We're gonna go over to Miss Irene. Miss Irene, how are you doing? If you can unmute your microphone. Yes, please. Thank you so much for being here, Miss Irene. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? I have a hoarse voice today. But pardon me.
Okay.
Yes. If you can.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
can
so
hear you.
much
We can
for
definitely hear you. Yeah,
thank
for
you
sure.
so much for having me and letting me represent Illinois.
Okay, great. You're welcome. So it sounds like we also have technical challenges with you there a little bit, but we're gonna, that's the beauty of doing stuff live, like I said. So thank you for being here. So, how does it make you feel to be a lady, a wonderful lady, and be a president at the same time? Is it a different challenge compared to men, or is it the same challenge as everybody else?
Um, I think as women and as leaders, we are very nurturing naturally. So I fit in with the men
Right.
easily because they don't look at me like a fellow leader. They look at me as a sister or a mother figure. So they treat me with respect, and it's easy for me to like rub shoulders with them without feeling intimidated. And I'm not easily intimidated, by the way.
Very well, very well. So rightfully so. So thank you so much for being here for sure. So how are the numbers looking like in Illinois, and how is the community reacting to the adjustment of social distance when it comes to, we are used to being out and do different stuff. If you can hear me, are you there to begin with? All right. So it looks like Miss Matunda is having a little bit of a challenge there technically, but
Okay.
you're back,
I'm
right?
back.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, excellent. So I was just saying, how are the numbers looking like when it comes to COVID-19, and how has it impacted your community over in Chicago?
Coming from a family that's in the health sector, I hear all the numbers, from what they're looking at in their facilities. And as a matter of fact, one of my sisters had COVID, and thankfully she's fine. But we are very lucky here in Illinois because our mayor and our governor, they work hand in hand. So when they come up with an idea, it sinks in because when the governor and the mayor are like, have different ideas, things don't work out. So like I think now in Illinois we are in phase 4. So which means everybody is not allowed to go in any facility without a mask. So that keeps us safe. And I know there are some states where, like I was in Indiana last week when I went to deliver some food for the Association of Indiana.
Right.
Indiana, they don't wear masks. I went to a gas station. Everybody's just walking around without a mask. I freaked out. I'm like, I'm in the wrong place. So every state is different, but I'm lucky that here in Illinois we have that mandatory of you can't go in a store without a mask.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know that this world will never be the same if women are not involved. So if there's somebody who's watching you right now, they're getting the confidence from you, they're exuding your brilliance from you, what would be your advice to a young Zambian lady growing up in our community wishing to be like you? Where should they start from, if I can say that?
You know what? When you put your mind to anything that you want to do, you can soar. I was talking to you the other day. I gave you a whole bunch of ideas, and you were delighted to like give me all these pointers. You were like, Irene, you can do this. Irene, you can do that. So all I want the young people in my community to look up to people who are like me. We have a lot of leaders in our community that motherly. They can look up to them and go to them and say, look, I have this idea. I don't know how to go about it, but I don't want to sit on it. And you never know who's going to come up and say, you know what? As a matter of fact, I know how to work that. Like in my community, I'm so proud to serve the community that I'm in because we have a variety of talents.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have, I think, about 5 or 6 young people who are doing well in business, and they're very young. They're under 30. As a matter of fact, let me just shout out to them because it's very important that they know that I believe in them
Go
as
for
a
it.
leader, as a woman. So we have we have Miss Charlotte Lukovo, who owns a travel agency, and I'm sure a lot of people know who she is. I would really, really want you guys to patronize her. She'll fly you anywhere, wherever you want to go. She's good. She's been doing this for over 15 years. and she's a single mom. So that's what like connects me to people like her. Then we have another lady, Petronella Milimo. She's a co-owner of Pennywise. They lend money to Zambians here in Chicago. I think they do that in Wisconsin and Indiana as well. I don't know how far they go, but they lend money, and it's a legit business, which is it's a legit business. Then of course, Mr. President Wembia wanted to steal my DJ, but sorry, he's staying
And
here.
that's how war started, just like that.
Yeah, no, he's staying right here. He's our celebrity DJ.
Okay.
DJ C Money, we love him, so he's staying here. And then we have Maureen Shevers, Rachel Little, and Wenya. They have I think an elderly care company that they do. I think it's called Villa Holistic. And what they do is when they're looking for workers, they first ask us like, hey, can we advertise this job on your platform, because we have a very good job right now going on. So they look out for our people before they can look out outside.
Right.
So which is good. Then we have Evermore. She's a photographer. She's a brilliant girl. I love her because she's my tribe's girl. I'm being petty. Yeah. So, but she's very good, and she just taught herself how to be a photographer. Now she's doing very well. Then we have Miss Sally Malongo. She's a party planner. We have Kaflongo Beauty Consultant. She started from nothing, and now she's like she's in the Gold Coast, doing so well by herself. We have Salome. She's also under 30. She has her own I think it's called Shalom Home Care. She runs it by herself with her husband. We have Chanda Mwanza, who runs a beauty couture. I think you can see it on Instagram and Facebook. She's doing so well. We have Joey. She's running the African Treats. She cooks for everybody. And lastly, I think you've heard of Mrs. Mpolokoso.
Correct.
That's our mother. She's a nation's mother. So we have all that in Chicago, and it's I can't be more happier to be a leader for a community like this, because they embrace me. I think one of the things, I think that was Zakiyan was saying something about leadership. One thing that I understand about leadership is that you have to humble yourself. If you want to connect with your community, you don't have to go all showing off like you're bigger than them. You really have to belittle yourself, humble yourself, and be like that. Like I always talk about cooking. I'm always saying things like that. When I go somewhere, I say, hey, you want to come eat at my house? I'll cook for you. So, when you talk like that, you make them feel comfortable. And the next thing is that you see they come to you and say, hey, I'm looking for a job, but I don't want anybody to know. And I'll still look out for you because you trusted me. So that's how leadership is. You have to have that connection. And I really, really, really love my city. And I hope we can do more things together. And I hope people can see that this togetherness is actually bringing unity. Because, most of the times you find Atlanta is doing their own things, DC is doing their own things, Dallas is doing their own things. But this is the first time that we're doing everything together. And in one name, just one Zambia. Because this is beautiful. I'm very, very honored to be part of this.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you highlighted some of the talents that you possess within the state of Illinois. And so we can't wait to make sure that we give the opportunity to everybody to be a part of the independence celebration. So as we move over, I'll be bringing in my brother, Mr. Don Mubanga, all the way here. And Mr. Don, let us know where you're calling from so people can actually acknowledge you and see where you are, because it doesn't show which state you're representing, but we want to make sure that people know that you exist.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And for everybody out there, thank you for coming to my home. It's a virtual world. You're now in my house.
Right.
I am actually calling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
And I am the president of the Wisconsinite Zambian Association here in Wisconsin.
Thank you for being here. And you are a young man yourself as well. How much energy do you require to deal with the older folks? First of all, we're moving a little bit slower than we should be, and then the younger folks as well. You're in the middle. So how's been the challenge for you when you work with different types of folks in the community?
Well, it's been challenging, but not because of the age differences. It's it's just the nature of an association being in its infancy.
Yeah.
And learning without direction, learning as we go. It's a learning process. Challenges come dealing with people of all ages, and just personalities, and people just being at different stages in their life, and just trying to get everybody involved in our small community.
I see. And let us know, what are some of the initiatives that you have within the community, and if you can acknowledge anybody who's doing something great. And I know that there are a lot of folks doing something incredible within the community, and the process of having this opportunity for us to get together is to highlight some of the things that are incredible within the community. Who are some of the folks making a difference, and how are you supporting them in your own capacity as a president?
Absolutely. I want to answer that question by acknowledging the good work of my executive committee. We have in our executive, we have Madam Claire, who's doing a wonderful job. I'll just list my executive here. We have Future Mpundu, King Fred Mwaba, Mark Kanyanta, Mate Sellers, Matuda, Miriam Chungu, Mukumbo, Mulunda, and Mushe. Mushe Sibulwa, one of the executive committee members, is doing a wonderful job back home. He has an NGO called SEPO, where they're providing educational assistance to people back home who are who don't have the means. That's one gentleman who's also involved in our local community here, just influencing legislation as it relates to minorities in the community.
Absolutely. And
we also have entrepreneurs within our association. We have similar to what Madam Irene pointed out, Pennywise. We also have a local lending company called Twampani Financials, who are doing great things, providing financial opportunities to our local Zambian association here.
Absolutely. So what are some of the challenges, or what have you learned from other associations as you grow your own, and which direction do you think you need to go when it comes to sensitizing the folks to be part of the solution? You just mentioned legislation. Most of the folks that come from Africa, or Zambia, or Africa, so to speak, we do not understand how legislation works when we move to the United States. So are you creating any initiatives to make sure that folks get to understand how legislations operate within the United States? Are you involved in that process at all?
Absolutely. And I want to answer that question by commending and thanking Zanus and President Noah for putting up this initiative. A collaborative initiative is, as he mentioned earlier on, it's a think tank where we come together and share ideas and challenges of how other associations are addressing issues. So it's been a wonderful experience being part of the Zanus Association, where we're learning from other associations that have been at it for a long time. And as far as dealing with challenges in our association and sensitizing our community on legislation and everything that's going around, we take the approach of what Mr. Noah pointed out earlier is, we leverage our numbers. We are better, we are stronger together than as individuals. So
Right.
we ride that wave, and the way we've been able to get buy-in from our fragmented community
Right.
is we start off with the idea that where there's two, there's a community, and we very quickly became comfortable with just being a handful of us initiating change. And as we spread positivity and work on continuous improvement ideas for our community, and we've seen that people that were reserved and withdrawn or isolated are coming around, and we are looking at doing great things. We are actually right now we're working on registering our community into a nonprofit.
Into a 501c3, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. That process is underway, and our goal is to just collaborate and enrich our community. Provide scholarships for people within our community, and just raise awareness of your voice matters in the community.
Absolutely. No, thank you very much for shedding some light on what your community is doing. And most of you know that I cover the NFL, and one of the places that I don't look forward to going to is Wisconsin because of the weather. So, what did you have to go through as when you just migrated from Zambia coming to Wisconsin? How do you deal with that weather?
Well, it was a climate shock to begin with, but you adapt.
Yeah,
you adapt to it. You learn to do what the Wisconsinites do to survive. So it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I like that. Okay. Well, if you're watching and listening to this, you're learning just how much work is being done from folks from Zambia who are located in different places, and how they're adjusting to the climate, how they're adjusting to the pandemic, which is COVID-19. And so we're just so grateful and so honored for Zanus to allow us to shed some light as we come back and bring all the presidents together. Actually, we have some Miss Inga tuning in right now. I believe she's in the DC area. We'll try to bring her back. And Miss Inga, if you're available, if you're ready to go, I'll bring you into the stream right now so we can make sure. I know that your timing is a little bit tight. So here we go, Miss Inga. How are you doing? If you can unmute your microphone. Go ahead and unmute your microphone, please. There we go. She's working. There we go. Got it. We can't without hearing from you. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Don Mubanga, for representing Wisconsin. Welcome to the program, my friend.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I love the artwork in the back there. You're representing Africa, but you're also representing the native. I see that.
Yes. So, I love African art. Majority of my living room decor, majority of it's all. I usually collect from wherever I go in the world. I got an Asian piece there, but and then this bottom one actually right here, if you can see it, this one was done by Namonga Mubagwe. She's a Zambian here in the DMV, and she created that, and she does other different Zambian pieces. So that's a collective artwork piece. Yes,
absolutely. So I know that you're a gifted dancer. Let's start from there. You're a gifted dancer, and not only people they just see you dancing, but they don't know how much grace and wisdom you possess within your youthful self. What inspired you to become a president at this point?
So unlike some other people, so I am the current president of the Zambian Association in Washington. So we cover 3 areas: Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Virginia.
Right.
Initially, the community was quite small, so there was no point in separating them. You can get within all 3 within like a 35, 40-minute drive. So we're fortunate enough to be able to cover all the areas. And I used to actually be a consultant, what I called myself as an event planning consultant for the previous Zambian Association. I wasn't able to sign on full time due to my other responsibilities. I prefer not to sign on for anything unless I'm going to give 110% of my time. So I wasn't really planning to run, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It just so happened that the previous president, President Chigo, got a job offer to relocate to Colorado shortly after he became president. I think after 4 to 6 months after his appointment. So they needed somebody to sort of take over, and I guess looking through the community somehow, I'm not sure, they thought I was the best fit. It wasn't an easy decision for me. I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't jump right away at the idea, primarily because I had made other commitments because I do a lot of festival coordination here in the DC, Maryland area, because we have a lot of cultural events that we have, or like right now we can't because of COVID-19, but I coach models, I do runway teaching, I'm a coordinator for fashion shows, event planning, and wedding planning also. So my weekends and nights are not really always free. So I was reluctant to take this role because I felt like it'd be a disservice to take on a leadership role and not be able to give my people 110%. So thinking about it, it took me a long time. I think maybe like 2 weeks. After thinking about it, I decided, you know what? I've given so much to my other African communities. This was the one opportunity I finally got to be able to serve my community and share my talents, share the experiences that I have, that I've acquired over the years. And that's kind of how I came to be the leader. And my time was technically done this February, but we're still working. COVID-19 kind of screwed up a lot of schedules. So I'm still going to sit president until we find a successor for me, which I'm hoping will happen by the end of this year. But until then, I'm still serving in full capacity to be able to lead my community.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with the time that you've spent serving the community and being a part of the frontliners when it comes to the youth voicing their opinions when it comes to issues, and I know that we're not here to discuss politics, but why do you think it's important for the youth to step up and speak out when it comes to just us who are over here as a diaspora and folks who are back home?
I personally believe it's important for young people in general, regardless of where you're located. It's important to be involved in your current affairs. It's important for us to have interest in whether it be politics, religion, cultural, or whatever issues that affect our community, because today we're the youth, tomorrow we're tomorrow's leaders. So we have to sort of learn to teach and inspire, because culturally we're told, don't involve yourself in grown folks' business, you know, but without really realizing that kind of discourages, young people, because we have this gap to say, we're going to teach you at this age, but there's really no age where we start teaching people to say, this is when you should start taking interest in politics. And I think difference and change makers are not taught on how to become a leader. It's not something that or any parent starts to teach their kids. But I think it's something that's learned, and that starts with interest. And right now, like as far as like in the DMV area, we don't really quite have a lot of youth there, some that are there. And what we try to do is when we have events, we try to involve them in having them come in and volunteer for projects, and then just take a moment to kind of teach them, take our wing, like that big sister, brother in the community that's not like mom or kind of like a younger auntie, to where they can come to us, they can ask us questions. And again, I didn't really start out to be anybody's mentor or anybody's example of anything. But when I took on this role, a lot of people were excited, saying you're the first woman leader that we've had. And I'm like, first woman leader? Like, yeah, no, so you're the youngest. I'm like, whoa, no pressure.
No pressure,
but
right.
What that taught me and what that showed me was, you have to set your own precedent. Yeah, you have to set your own precedent. I have to make my own history. I will never be like any other leader that came before me. I'm going to be me. I'm going to lead as myself. And I lead with compassion. I lead with logic. And in many ways, they tell I don't function, but I think because we've kind of boxed women in a certain box, we think women operate one way, but it depends on what situation we can function, I think, and thrive in any environment you put us in, as long as the precedent that's set forward, we know what, when, how, and where we're going. I think most anybody can do it, and I think I'm encouraging all youth to please come forward. Anybody willing to come on board, I'm volunteering myself to groom them to be able to represent us. Zambia is a strong force with many leaders, innovative people, very loving. People say we're passive to a degree, yes, but we're very loving people. And what we want really is a peaceful world. And I think that's a great start for us to start from as far as like our leadership is concerned.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we bring in all the presidents together, in closing for you, and hopefully you're not going to head off, can you please, if you can, highlight some of the folks that are doing amazing work in the community? Because we know that that region, that part of the region where you are, DC, Maryland, and New York, a lot of folks are doing great work. So quickly share with us who are some of the people who are doing great work in the community.
Oh, certainly. Well, we have a huge community, and without, hopefully I won't offend anybody because I'm working based on memory here. We have great community in this area. We have some people who are go-getters and ranging in various, I guess, sectors of the business world. Majority of us work in the healthcare field, but we do have people making huge differences from Mr. Mutale Kambaila, who leads and heads Amazon shipping, which ships to majority of Southern Africa now. We have also Mr. Mutale, Matthew Mutale, who's also his brother. He's head of Diamondale Foundation. They're doing great leadership work in Zambia, in various parts of Zambia, with young people, mainly regarding education. We do a lot of book collections here in the DMV area. We do a lot of book collection. We collect those books to donate because we're trying to create libraries for our young people at home. But we all, as community representatives, we have taken it upon ourselves to say, let's collect what we can and help out our people. We have other areas of business. We have Mr. Patrick Makina, Kombe Nampito, Luwana, aka most of you guys know her as G Muna. They're in the food business, specializing in smoked fish, smoked chicken, burrito sausage, ichifu, for those who like ichifu. Fresh vegetables like Chihuahua. Patrick grows his own vegetables. I occasionally also sell import, but COVID-19 has sort of messed a lot of that up. But majority of the people are still fully functioning. They'll ship to you wherever you are within the U.S. They'll ship to you. We also catering services. We have Mrs. Catherine Payne, who does great catering services, and she's been also doing teaching actually. She goes to a lot of the Jewish schools and some of the American schools in the DC area. And she actually teaches Zambian culture and feeds them shima with kapenta and teach them what it is about our culture. And that's our staple food. We also have Mrs. Miss Lozi Soko, Teresa Daka, Mrs. Rose Masuku, who's our Chikanda specialist. That's what I call her.
I like that.
She makes Chikanda and ships it all across. Yeah, she ships it across the U.S. She also makes Zambian cakes, like the Zambian cake, not the American one. She makes that. Then we also have Ms. Kupiwe Chirambo and Mrs. Ivy Mwelwa, who are event coordinators and planners, and they do event decor, amazing event decor, especially when it comes to like traditional kitchen party decor. Both ladies, I can vouch for them. They're professionals. I can ask for more. We also have a musical legend, Mr. Shaimen Shaizo, who he lives now in the DMV area. I'm so glad that we have him here. He contributes to the community, and most people don't even know he also does photography as well. He does photography for events. Absolutely. He comes in when we did the Southern African Festival. Yeah, we did the Southern African Festival. Ossi performed a couple of years ago when he was living in the DMV area, and Shaimen was also able to represent Zambia. We were very proud of that. Then we have the Z Trio, the Zambian dance group that I'm with. We also dance is more than just taking our bodies and other things. We look at it as a cultural, educational moment for people to see where we're from, because it wasn't sexualized until we moved to the we cross border and you come here, and all of a sudden it becomes sexual. But we don't look at it like that. We look at it as a moment, because the moment people see us, they're like, oh, where are you guys from? What's that music? You know, we taught people about Amayenge shortly before COVID-19 came from Mira Bowser. Mira Bowser had this, she has an annual festival every year. We were honored that amongst 8 groups, she chose us. You know, it's a very small baby group from little country of Zambia, and that's big. So we don't take it lightly. We have a lot of people in the community, and lastly, we had a fundraiser for baby Edwina. I think most people saw the video of the young, I think she might be 5, if not 6. She has like a spinal cord tumor that they need to be taken out, and the parents were pleading. Our community, Mrs. Kupiwe Chirambo, took it upon herself, asked the community, because typically I ask the community for a lot of donations, but this time, for some odd reason, I was praying. I said, God, give me a way for me to reach these people to where I know people are struggling. A lot of people have been laid off, but they came without really even asking. People were like, I'm contributing $50. And then it just kind of took off. Within like a matter of 4 days, we were able to raise over $1,000. But thank God for the mighty God that we serve. Unbeknownst to us, another organization just came and said, we're going to give this family a grant. We're going to cover 110% of the cost with this surgery and post-surgical treatment, because she's going to require extensive physical therapy. But they're not allowed to get funding from an outside source. So what that told me was, we can't interfere. Yes, I love that the community did contribute. So we went back to the community, and I was honest with them to say, we have a miracle here. Somebody's willing to cover, but we don't want to jeopardize what they're willing to do.
Correct.
And again, I was surprised, because I told them we're going to refund your money, but most of them said, no, keep my money, put it towards the association. You guys do enough. And then, so what we decided, we also had Annie Courtney, the young Zambian lady who died in Colorado. She has no family. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yes, I did.
Some of the community members asked if we could donate to that. Yeah, so we took money, and we were able to donate about $400 to her funeral. And I contacted her husband. He's an American. He's from here. He was very appreciative of our contribution, and they're going to be able to actually take her home and lay her to rest. So those are the small things and impacts that we're making on our community here, just kind of keeping ourselves tight, because not everybody has a family here. We're about unity. We're about humility, compassion, loving one another. We're not perfect people, but what we do is Ubuntu, and we have to function the way we function in the villages that we come from, in the various beautiful parts of Zambia, and that's how we're going to function in this foreign land. And I think I'm proud to be a leader, and for the next couple of months that I'm here, I hope to continue to make a positive impact and make a positive change in my community here, and hopefully in Zambia.
Excellent work. I couldn't mention enough how proud I am to see you representing the youth and women at large, and just doing all the fantastic work. And I wish we had more time to where we can speak and talk forever. But that's the reason why we're getting together, is to just shed some light right now. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us right now, I see a lot of folks watching from across the country. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being so patient. You know, we have enough and a lot of good work being done within our community. So it's important for us to highlight all this. But right now we're focusing on the upcoming independence celebration for Zambia. And I'm honored to produce the upcoming show. So it's a great challenge, but I'm up for it. So thank you so much for watching. If you're tuning in, those of you that are watching from England, I can see that. Thank you so much. And keep the comments coming so that these folks can know exactly how you feel. Thank you so much. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to bring all the presidents back so that we can have a wrap-up conversation real quickly. But we're going to give them the chance to actually go and get a glass of water, hopefully not a glass of wine, but a glass of water. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Kalandanya Music Promotion. Yo, boy, yo, Mobs. Dopest, freshest name in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Emukema could do. Yo, Stash, turn me up one more time. Take home.
Wanga
mami kapena balisiyecha besoche I think ni mutima wako mami oyo nice ilikevu jibote unexplainable feeding it my life yanga uipasa meaning nobody ever meant what you meant to me plus they did my ex they all dead to me now avyasha bakuchonga bige I found me a real wife Kebadi abasuma kwa Facebook Kena nimba manamu real life
Endekesa kufika kwa ruti no chaka Iwe bando no bando no bando no bando no Nima pepela baby Osaka nisi ya dekawe Iwe bando no bando no bando no bando Nise beni tanga Changa nega Iwe bando no bando no bando no bando Wanga nega,
we've been together for so long, my baby. That's why I'm drunk in your love in the Billy Gate. First lady, matter of fact, the only lady. Nifuna nifike kunyumba nipelekeze. I think you know by now that I'm serious. Never done that fiance never did ya. Look at the way that you making me grow up. I glow up when you just show up. Mona, now I feel kuchonga bige. I found me a real wife. Kebadi abasuma kwa Facebook Kena nimba manamu real life
Endekesa kufika kwa nuchi no chaka Iwe bando no bando no bando no bando no Nima pempela baby Osaka nisi ya dekawe Iwe bando no bando no bando no bando Iji sebe ni changa Changa nega Iwe bando no bando no bando no bando Wanga nega, you
a couple that prays together. Let's a couple that stays together. I'm thinking over the things that we should do together. Grow old or just act the fool together. Ufuna bana bangati nifuna teni. That's how deep it is, mami chukutikeni. Tefisela we won't feel a daylight. Sinikusia mwana mama who died. Hello food, now avyasha bakuchonga bige. I found me a real wife. Kebadi abasuma kwa Facebook Kena nimba manamu real life
Endekesa kufika kwa nuchi no chaka Iwe bando no bando no bando no bando no Nima pempela baby Osaka nisi ya dekawe Iwe bando no bando no bando Nise beni tanga Changa nega Iwe bando no bando no bando
Sing it one more time, man.
Oh no no,
one more time.
Yeah.
Kalanda music promotion.
Oh no no,
take over.
Hey.
Ila muntu andi awushitasha mwana wa ndoshu ena mulamu uyu walisala toto patoto.
All right, welcome back. So much talent back in Zambia, and big shout out to Yo Maps and Maki too for putting this together. And you know, we're just so excited to have all these folks who are so talented, and when we come together, it's just magic. So I'm so excited to bring back Mr. Noah and the rest of the presidents, and you know, I'm so excited and very honored. I don't know whether you guys realize that we just made history, because this has never been done before, where we had all the presidents coming back. I would like to tell the president back in the green room, if you can get ready, because I'm going to bring you into the feed real quickly. And I know some of you are sipping on something. I can't confirm or deny anything, but you're out there. So Mr. Fred, welcome back.
Thank you.
To put a disclaimer, just in case, you know, we get accused of drinking on the job or something like that. So Miss Irene, welcome back. And Miss Inga and President Bela, welcome back.
Thank you.
Here we go. President Bela, if you, Ms. Inga, you turned off your microphone, your camera, but I'll take you out of the feed until when you get situated there. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us, we are right here representing different communities within the United States. But also giving back all the way back to Africa and Zambia specifically, but Africa at large. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure for us to be here together. And speaking of history, this is the first time that all presidents came together on one platform and actually spoke like this. It wasn't an idea that was so favorable, but you guys were happy to be here, and I'm sure that you're ready to sit down and wait for each other to speak and be so graceful. So thank you so much, Happily, for taking up the cause of being here today. And Mr. Noah, going back just real quickly as we wrap up, we'll give each person a little bit of time to speak. Mr. Noah, what should people expect for the upcoming Independence celebration?
Yeah, again, thank you to DC Production Channel A for this great opportunity. Of course, this is history in the making, having all the leaders from different parts of the United States on the same platform. Kudos to you, and thank you, my fellow leaders. So looking forward to 2020 October the 24th, we have great things coming your way. So we just want to encourage you to, if you have a company, you are part of an organization, or you just want to be a funder, please get in touch with your local association president. They'll give you information, and also we'll be working out a website. We want to make sure that at least we are inclusive. As you can see, it's just a great thing to have all these leaders, and for us just to, as we piece together this great venture that is right now slowly coming together. I'm just very glad to be just part of this. So I won't say much, because I'll let the other committees, because we have committees, like I alluded to earlier on. We have a committee which is led by President Irene White and Inga Kim. They are looking at inviting the youth. They are working out the criteria, and also who is going to be speaking. Of course, we have President Bela and others who are working on the sponsorship, and we have also President Fred in the background also working on the logistics. So we have different folks working on different areas. So this is again a huge opportunity for us also, without stealing other people's glory. I'll end there, so at least we can hear from others.
Absolutely. President Fred, and I know that this is exciting, but it's also a challenge at the same time. Just walk us through so the community can hear from us the first time. What's expected of the associations? Is there any financial obligation to the upcoming Independence celebration?
Sure. First and foremost, I just want to acknowledge, thank you for putting this together. Thank you to DC Production. It's an honor to work with you, and an honor looking forward to working with the rest of the presidents. As far as, putting this together, the pieces, they're coming along really great. As President Noah mentioned, we have different departments, different individuals working and looking at things in different perspectives, as far as logistics, the technology behind, as far as the marketing side, and as far as the financial aspect. We're reaching out to the viewers, whether here in the United States, the viewers back home in Africa, in Zambia. We're looking for sponsors, individuals that want to sponsor this event. We encourage you to reach out to your association presidents. If you're not familiar with who to contact exactly, there will be some contact information that we're going to share on Facebook as well. Reach out to any of us in terms of wanting to advertise your business, your services that you have. We want to encourage our community to be able to promote their businesses on a large scale. This is a great opportunity for us to showcase our talent, our services, our business for the whole world to be able to see. As DC Production, we'll be showcasing this not only on Facebook, but also on YouTube. So that also increases your traffic that you may have, increases your financial pocket at the end of the day. So as far as finances, we're encouraging each and every Zambian or possibly non-Zambian that's interested in sponsoring, in advertising their business. We're looking at having a lot of talents from Zambia, including individuals like Yo Maps. I'm glad we were able to watch him in that little break. It's somebody that will be on the show. There's other members, other artists that we're speaking with. So I'm not going to give too many names out there as we are working currently through the process, and we'll be releasing a final flyer that we're going to put out and showcase to the community. But other than that, most importantly, reach out to us. Let us show your business. Let us show your services. We want to promote Zambian businesses and encourage everyone that continue social distancing, continue staying home. We look forward to giving you this wonderful event.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to say we are so grateful and honored to connect with some of the media outlets back home, such as Coppola TV. We also be broadcasting Independence, the Zambian National Broadcasting Corporation as well. We are working through that, as well as TMB TV back in Lusaka as well. So, and a lot more platforms are coming in, because we realize that the diaspora plays a big role for real change to happen back in Zambia. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, this is an opportunity for us to come together. If you have any special talent that you think is worthy to be broadcasted and be a part of what's going on right now, we encourage you to reach out to your president, as you can see, from different locations. And as we move to next to Miss Irene, who should reach out to you? What are you looking for as far as your state? Who should be a part of this upcoming independence celebration?
Oh, thank you so much for that question. Actually, just right before the airing of this show, I had some people in my community who are business people who are willing to donate money towards the money that we're supposed to give as an association, which is very good. I didn't have to reach out to them. They just came up and say, hey, what can we do for us to participate? So, which means people are really excited to be part of this. And I'm very excited to be paired with Inga and Miss Inga and Sarah Hill. They bring a lot of expertise to the table, especially the fact that they're young. I'm very excited to work with them, because I can guarantee you that the people that we're going to showcase in our group is going to be outstanding.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, Mr. Charles, the great state of Florida, you mentioned a lot of people that are doing business, a lot of people that are doing different things. Who are you going to target to make sure that you highlight your community as well? Who are you looking for to be a part of the upcoming show?
Oh yes, yeah. It's a lot of people doing great things here, and some of them are engaged in common business ventures, but they're bringing in a lot of innovations. So we'll reach out to them. We'll reach out to the general community. We've got people with lots of talent, including singers. We've got Princess Mwamba, who just recently collaborated with Shanky. Various entrepreneurs here that are dealing in various businesses, like Manfred as a fish business. Mani Chipungu is able to bring the home, we call it economy, we call it Milimil in Zambia, is able to bring it here close to the people here. So we engage with all those people. I got Maggie, she's an expert hairdresser, and she's called out of state to go and showcase her skills and work with various people. So we'll engage with all these and bring them on board, as well as the community at large, so that we can have a huge celebration as one people, as a group of Zambians in the US, as well as engage with the communities from across the country. So we are looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And for you, since it's one of the states that's been hit hard with COVID-19 cases, I think this will be one of the things that can bring people together and kind of lift them up a little bit, because I know that most of us are down with what's going on and our own communities are impacted. So thank you so much for being here, President Charles. As we go over to President Don Mubanga in Wisconsin, and I know that it's a growing community, but what should people expect when we hit that mark of the independence celebration? What should people expect, and what opportunities can you give for the folks to be seen in your own state?
Absolutely. So for us here in Wisconsin, people should expect to see a community that is growing, a community that is seeking other opportunities from other association, and just engagement from our community, and the help that we've been able to provide, even being a small association that's just starting out. We've been able to do great things. We've been faced with alcohol and substance abuse in our community, and we've been able to rise and rally around the people that are going through tough times, and we've done some good things, and we've had people that have been impacted financially due to COVID, and we've been able to get people together and actually provide some needed help. So that's so those are some of the things that we want to showcase. And obviously, I mentioned one of our own who's involved in local politics, and we have local entrepreneurs. We would like to showcase that, and just raise awareness in general of the things that we're doing, and the things that we would like to get involved in, and get help from other associations.
Absolutely. I would encourage you, President Don Mubanga, to get in touch with me after the fact so we can give you the support that we can for the brother who's planning to run for office. And I would just want to share this in the office where we have the studio. That's where we do the branding for folks that are running for office. And I could share more information. There are a lot of folks from Africa who are running for office, and we do what's called the branding because it's a different representation. There are certain things that you have to do before you run for office, and I'll be more than glad to share our resources as well. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And as we move on to Madam Inga here, in closing, real quickly, what should people expect from you? And I know that I'm hoping that to see you dance myself, but what do you have? You have under your sleeve?
Well, as far as like performing wise, I won't be dancing, but as far as entertainment wise, I can promise I'm definitely going to be dancing. Somewhere, somehow, one of these devices will be on Facebook Live. So I can guarantee that I'll be having a party of my own in here. But I'm just excited to see that the current situation is bad. But I always feel like just like diamonds are made out of pressure, we sort of needed this to wake us up. Zambians across the whole world, back home included, we needed this to nudge us because we've just kind of been complacent, just kind of sitting, waiting for certain people to make a change. We didn't realize the power we had within ourselves to lead, the power we had within ourselves to make a difference, just not today, but also tomorrow. They're going to be naysayers. They're going to be doubters. Who are you? You're young. You don't know anything. But that's fine. Everybody needs those types of voices because it's those voices that will drive us and propel us. And as far as this virtual independence event is concerned, we're working as one unit, which is what President Kaunda, when he said one Zambia, one nation, most of us didn't get it. We said that term just to kind of say it, but we never understood. We didn't see the issue of tribalism until now that we're older, that we're starting to see the differences. But when you look at somebody like myself, who's a blend of Shona, Tonga, Lozi, Lamba, I'm a blend of a whole lot of things. I can't choose one tribe over the other. And that's sort of how Zambia is. Zambia is a melting pot. It's a mix of beautiful cultures. And difference doesn't have to be something ugly. It doesn't have to be, difference can be beautiful. And us as associations working, we make up a whole different of tribes. We want to show unity. We want to show compassion, humility, togetherness, to say we're here together. This is not just a party, This is for a cause. We want to show that out of all of this ugliness, there's going to come some beauty out of this. Where some of us, some are seasoned leaders, some are new leaders. So this is also an opportunity for us to learn from each other, to build upon from each other, to be mentored, to be guided. So this event, I think there's gonna be a lot of growth. It's a challenge. It's a lot of work to do, but we're hoping that the community will support us. No donation is too small. I encourage every community member to reach out to your leader, even if it's a $10 contribution. It will make a difference in what we're doing. It will make a difference because we have to pay the artists. People are asking, why do you need the money? We have to pay the artists. We have to pay for services like you, Davis. Thank you so much for a platform like yours. You don't just sit there for 2 hours. For a 2-hour event, it usually takes days of preparation, studio time. Right. Time is invested in that. So we have to pay for people's services. And if we're going to support Zambian businesses, we need to be able to pay people for their services and for the time. So that is why we need the money. So as far as people asking what we're going to do with the money, that's partially, why we need the funds. And we're hoping, if we get more than what we put in, we'll make a difference somewhere. That's that's always a goal of ours. But this is more, in short, it's about togetherness and as one people.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said, as always. Shout out to Miss Cheswa Valika. They're saying this is very interesting. Great to see folks in the diaspora working together. So when I read comments like that, it just reminds me why it's important and some of the things that we take for granted. There's so much talent within the community, but we are fragmented and we are all in different locations and we're all doing great work in our own little corners. But this is incredible. I hope that the presidents, you realize that this is the beginning. We created history and this has to continue on so that people could be inspired and keep going forward. So I'm so honored to also have Mr. Zakiyan Gomer here from my own state of Washington. Thank you for being here, Mr. Zakiyan. What's the way forward for you when you look at the upcoming independence? What should people do to be a part of it from within Seattle area?
Thank you again for having me on the show, Mr. Chirwa, and I'm thankful to be sharing this platform with other presidents from other states. To answer your question, as you and I know, the Zambians in Seattle are not a community that steps away from a challenge, that doesn't give it 110%.
Correct.
If we look back at the independence celebrations we've had, they've gone above and beyond. And of course, this year is a different, we're under different conditions, but I am confident they are gonna step up 110% to support Zanus in its effort to bring a virtual independence celebration that will be that's going to be more than just a celebration, but it will touch all of us. Perhaps if I can seize this opportunity to speak specifically to the Zambian community who are here in Seattle, who may be tuned in. Yes, we are living in in an era of the pandemic. I just want to assure you that the Zambian, the Aziswa has secured resources to continue helping those that have been adversely affected by COVID-19 with groceries, diapers, and this time around we're actually going so far as providing counseling and therapy for those that may need it. President Mubanga mentioned alcohol abuse in his community. So we also want to tackle behavioral and mental health issues that may be arising from the coronavirus pandemic. And she doesn't know this yet, but Mwiche Lupambo, she's a professional in that area. We'll be reaching out to her, and Ziswa will be using our resources to pay for those sessions with community members who may need to have a sit down, virtually of course, with Mwiche to work through some of the anxieties or behavioral / mental issues that have come up due to the pandemic we are living in. And one last thing, there's a small Angolan community here, as you are aware, Mr. Chirwa. Yes. There's like 40-50 of them, and they are on more shakier ground than we are. They're new. They have language barrier. They speak predominantly in Portuguese and Lingala and French, and so the Zambian community is lifting them up. They are our brothers and sisters. They are our next door neighbors. And as I mentioned earlier, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. We want to make sure that piece in our chain is strong as well. So we are bringing up the Angolan community along with us. We are providing the same resources to them. So groceries, diapers, PPE, for the coronavirus, and also, PPE against the coronavirus pandemic, and also therapy, counseling sessions for whoever will need them. And as this well, we'll pay for those. So we will be rolling out those programs within the next week or two. We'll be sharing that information with the Zambian community, with the Angolan community, and we ask that they take advantage of all those things. And please reach out. They did well in the past. Hey, if you need something for groceries, there's no shame in reaching out and saying, I need help. We have the resources. Please reach out, and we will make sure you put food on the table for the kids, for the family. That's all I have.
Absolutely. Very well said, Mr. President. And I just want to say, to encourage my brother, Mr. Don Mubanga, you heard the man himself describing the resources here in the state of Washington. And those resources come by plugging ourselves into the bigger picture. So Aziswa is part of the coalition, the African coalition of leaders, right, Mr. Zakiyan? So
yes.
Yeah, so some of the resources may come not necessarily from people who come from the same country where you're from, but you're going to get a provision from other folks from other places as well. So thank you, Mr. Ngoma, for being here and representing Washington, because I didn't know how I would survive if you're not here to represent us as well.
Thank you very much. We will barbecue again sometime. So.
One of these days. Thank you so much. When it comes to what we're talking about, and I see people commenting saying, "What do we have to stop?" These presidents have been sitting around for 2 hours now. So unfortunately, this had to be. We have to start from somewhere. So I just want to appreciate all the comments and people who are watching this, and thank you for being diligent and just be there and representing your communities. As we move on to the great state of Georgia, Mr. Bela, thank you for being here, and thank you for all the great work, and we appreciate your work. So as we look forward, Atlanta is no pressure for you, but Atlanta provides a lot of talent, not just from within the Zambian community, but also from the Black community and African American community. So the stakes are really high. So what should we expect from your great state to contribute to the upcoming independence?
Great. Thank you again, Mr. Chua, for highlighting the great state of Georgia. So in terms of the state of Georgia or Atlanta in general, we do have many years of experience in the area of fundraising. So that's something that we're bringing to the table in terms of planning this virtual independence event, is to bring our experience and expertise in fundraising to help the team host a great event. We've definitely had success in that area. And as a matter of fact, we've provided technical assistance to other organizations, such as last year, we provided support with Zambia Blog Talk Radio in terms of helping them host their 10th anniversary event. We are the ones who really worked with them to help them plan the sponsorship package and how to approach donors, how to thank them, and of course, acknowledge their donations. So we're hoping to bring that same level of expertise to this event as well. And then the other part is one to highlight the programming or the shift within the community. For many years, we provided a lot of individual-based support to our community members. But in the recent years, we've really shifted towards more of population or community-based support, where we give our community members access to resources or knowledge on how they can better integrate within the broader community or society in general. For example, last year, we had a men's event where we had a business development expert from one of our major banks. They came and they spoke about some of the mistakes that they see African immigrants make in terms of trying to start a business, running a business. So that's the type of program that we want to highlight, is some of these things that we've been doing in Atlanta to support a much broader community versus supporting individuals. In as much as we still support individuals, we feel that we need to make a shift as a community towards providing that population level based support. And of course, want to highlight the great work that we're doing in Kapiri in partnership with Atlanta Zambian Women of Influence. That initiative has been going on very well. ASA provides administrative and operational support in terms of implementing that initiative, such as serving as a fiscal agent and just making sure that the funds move from the US to Zambia and that they go to the students. Right. So that's like one thing that ASA definitely is proud of to support. So some of those things that we want to definitely highlight in this independence coming up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, and keep up the good work. We appreciate all the efforts, and Atlanta should be in the forefront as well, running just like every other state to make sure that the community is represented well, from music to community efforts, development, and the future as well. So we appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much, President Bela. So before we go to President Noah to wrap this up, I want to go to President Kazembe. Let me unmute your microphone here real quickly. I have a question here that says, if somebody is in a state that's not active as far as having leadership in place, and this question is coming from Sui, how can they get in touch with any one of you guys?
Sure, and that's a really good question. Before I actually respond to the question, I just want to highlight that in the United States, we actually have 16 associations. So we actually have 16 presidents, Zambian association presidents. The few of us that you see here, we were available, we were able to attend and be part of and discuss this event on this platform today. And we do have the rest of the presidents that are part of this event. Unfortunately, could not make it today, but they're still part of this event. So if you're watching from a state and your president is not here, just know that they are well informed. They are part of this event. As far as the question, reach out to myself, reach out to President Noah in terms of helping you in registering your organization or starting an organization. Perhaps looking at forming a 501c if you're not familiar with how the process goes, and then also looking at having any bylaws or looking at the structure. You can reach out to President Noah or any of the presidents that are here online that you might be familiar with, and they'll be able to help you. We are encouraging those states that do not have a organization. If you want to be part of the event, we welcome you. We are promoting Ubuntu. We're promoting unity. So at the end of the day, it's about working together and helping each other through these through these times. And at the end of the day, we want to promote something good out of it, which would be whether it's helping a state that does not have an association, forming one, and getting Zambians to connect with each other. So again, reach out to any of us. We'll be more than happy to help through that process.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just want to make also that clarification that there are a lot more people involved in the back end than just what you see, the leadership that you see right now. So very well said, President Fred. I just want to also let people know that we do have the support from other organizations such as OZA and all other organizations that are part of this community. So in case you have your doubts, this is just the beginning. So feel free to dive in, with just the whole body, just plunge in if you can, because there is room for all of us to contribute in any shape or form that we can. I want to also encourage you that as we wrap up here, this is history in the making, obviously, but then we do have opportunities that are opening up, but we have to be seen. If you're a president or you're a secretary or a treasurer, you're invited to speak on a platform, please do so and represent your folks. With that said, I wanted to say that I think this is appropriate for me to share with you. I've been working with, many of you know, with ambassador, former ambassador of the African Union, Dr. Arikana Chihombori. And, I greatly accepted the offer, from the organization that she launched, which is ADDI, which stands for African Diaspora Development Initiative. And I'm now the director of media and technology, not only for the United States, but for the globe as well. So I'll be representing a media from, thank you so much. Thank you. So with that said, and I say this to humbly mention that we do have access to things that could be broadcasted on a much larger platform. And I'm also proud to see Zambians such as Dr. David Kazila. He's also representing all the medical doctors here in the United States, and he's on that platform as well. And of course, most of us know Ms. Sylvia Litana, who is President Inga's mom, our sister, and she's also the advisor to the ambassador, special advisor to the ambassador. So those are opportunities that are opening up by just being seen. So I say this humbly to encourage everyone, if you're watching and you're listening to this, just take a chance, be out there, say your opinion, be involved in your community. It starts from here. You can be connected to any of these presidents. Most of them, they have a lot of opportunities that we are looking for. So Mr. Noah, if you can unmute your microphone, we want to hear from you in closing. And Mr. Noah, job well done. Thank you, Zanus and Zain, for making this presentation possible for us to come together like this. This is definitely history in the making. And thank you, everybody who's been tuning in and watching. I see Porha, thank you so much for making an effort trying to also be a sponsor for what's coming up. And I want to definitely give a shout out to Z Africa Collaborative for coming together as women in the United States and Europe, and also in Zambia for coming together. So absolutely, it's about time we did this. Mr. Noah, any closing remarks from you, sir?
Once again, thank you to Mr. Chirwa, DC Production, ATV. Thank you to all our presidents who've been part of the panel, and also we have other presidents. This is not everybody. We have other presidents who could not make it be part of these discussions due to prior engagements, and just being on a weekend is very hard to get people. But yeah, so thank you to our listeners for taking time, those who've been watching, those who've been asking questions, sending comments. We are very, very proud to just be all Zambians. So I just wanna, because my people here in Indiana, they texted me saying, you haven't mentioned what we're doing here in Indiana. So let me just take 2 minutes or so to for my people. So at least, because before I get crucified.
Right.
Yeah. So in Indiana, we have some projects that are going on. I'm glad to be part of this community because we have, for instance, some empowerment projects. We have Mr. Kelvin Chishimba, who is one of our residents in Indiana, who is leading a company called Indiana Investment Club, Indie Investment Club. So this is a group of us. We put aside some money and then we are going into the stock market. So this is a project that is being spearheaded by Mr. Kelvin Chishimba, who has been a stockbroker for over 10, 15 years. So we are in very capable hands. We are working with Ameritrade, setting up a company. So this is something that I want to encourage even other associations out there. Get together, because you can do what we are doing here. So we are setting up a stock market investment account. So a group of us got together. So that's number one. And also we have similar to the village banking that is going on in Zambia or Africa, we have what is called diaspora banking. So this is an initiative that is designed to empower our people up here. So because the end goal, we want to have our very own first Zambian bank in the United States. So that's sort of the thinking behind that. So we are, I think, in good shape. We are pulling our strings there. And also we have some musicians, we have some DJ, we have people who are involved in the fashion world. And of course, one of them is actually Bela's brother, Skaba Siangonia, and we have also the Dwanis, who is a musician, and we have also the great Gina Hidi. She's a musician. She actually graced us during the past Independence for last year. So most of you might know Gina Hidi. I think she's also going to be part of the I think one of the artists for October 24th. And also we have entrepreneurs, we have people running businesses. We have one of our executive member, Mr. Dillion Longway, has a car repair place. They fix tires, they work on cars. We have healthcare and fitness gurus, and we have tailors. So we have quite a mixture of people. So at least I just wanted to make sure that at least I put it out there. So when it comes to association, places where they do not have an association, Zanus is encouraging you to belong to maybe the neighboring association. For instance, here in Indiana, we have people who live actually in Illinois. They are part of our group. And I think some people who are on the other side of Illinois, they are also part of vice versa. So also we have people in the state of Michigan who do not have an association, but they belong to Indiana. So we encourage areas where they do not have associations, please reach out to one of us and we'll be able to see how we can help.
Absolutely.
And also I just wanted to make a comment, because what, ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to for the past 2 hours, it's what teamwork can do. So this is a group of leaders coming from different parts of the country. We have, of course, Indiana, Washington State, people on the West Coast, people us here in the Midwest, people on the East Coast. So this is what we mean when we say networking and coming together, leveraging our numbers, putting our ideas together. So this is what Zanus is all about. So very soon, in a few months, you guys, you'll be able to be part of history making again when we host our first Independence Virtual Conference with party. We look forward to any input, suggestions. If there are people who want to be part of this project, you have a business, please reach out to us. We'll see how we can, in conjunction with DC Production, make a commercial for you, so at least we put your weight out there. Because if you have a business, in order for you to make money, you have to be out there. People need to know about you. And one final thing, I just wanted to take this moment also to respond to some of the negative articles which have been posted out there in Zambia, condemning the people in the diaspora, saying people in the diaspora, they are simply armchair critics. They are not really doing anything to empower the folks back home. I think that is very misplaced, very unfortunate. What you are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, most of us, we are directly involved. There are remittances that go to Zambia. So when we have people who write articles, you have to ask yourself, what was the intent? What are they trying to communicate? What are they trying to prove? So are they trying to build us all? Because we are all Zambians. We may be in the United States, we may be far away from Zambia, but when we have negative articles that are designed to discourage or to bring about division, we in Zanus, we do not stand for division. We are all Zambians. We may be here in the United States, but we are part and parcel because we have families back home. So it's not that we are simply criticizing the government. We don't criticize anyone. We just speak up. We actually encourage the Zambian government to tap in the vast resources, the expertise, the professionals, the doctors, the attorneys that we have out in the diaspora. We just want to make sure that at least we are all working as one. We are not in any way trying to be distant or to throw stones at the government or anything like that. No, we are just simply Zambians who love, due to some situations we are here in the diaspora, but we are not in any way against the folks back home. We should work together, figure out how we can collaborate, how we can build each other, so that at least our Zambia, our country, benefits from us all. So ladies and gentlemen, Zanus is a non-partisan, is a non-religious organization. We are simply uniting the leadership and trying to see what is it that we can do in our lives here in the United States or wherever we may be. And then at the same time, how can we help our people back home? Because last year, the remittances which were sent to Zambia amounted to almost 120 million, which was very, very instrumental in even raising the GDP in Zambia. So when we hear people who are trying to paint a negative tone on the diaspora, that is just unfortunate. Let us work together. In the words of the famous, of course, one and only KK, one Zambia and one nation. With that, I yield my time, Mr. Cheba.
Thank you very much, Mr. Noah, and I'm glad you painted some picture over that. Thank you guys for joining us. If those of you that are watching back home, you need to know exactly what Mr. Noah just said. We're here to make sure that we continue to serve the Zambian community as well as folks anywhere, as a matter of fact, in any part of the world. So the virtual connection gives us the opportunity for us to come back together and reconnect. So thank you so much, all the presidents. If I can just unmute everybody's microphone here real quickly. And within 10 seconds, if you can, 20 seconds, if you can just say your last word, that would be great. So the folks can say goodbye to you, starting with Mr. Fred.
Thank you again for hosting, giving us this opportunity to, to speak about this event, encouraging all the viewers within this United States, within Africa, wherever you're watching from, please if you're interested in promoting your business, if you're interested in promoting your services, reach out to us. We want to work with you. We want to put your business on a platform so that you can flourish. We're looking at artists, we're looking at DJs, we're looking at performers that are going to be part of this event. We want it to be as successful as possible. So we're encouraging any talent that's out there, any donors, sponsors, people that just want to give some money that they have. We're more than happy to connect with you. And at the end of the day, we want this to be successful. So looking forward to working with everybody here. And we encourage you to reach out to us.
Absolutely. Mr. Charles?
First of all, thank you so much, Mr. Chira and DC Productions for putting this together and for everything you're doing in the communities. We appreciate that very much. And thanks to Zanus for this initiative. And thanks to all the listeners who came in to listen. And I would like to encourage everybody to be active in their local associations and also to take part in the national initiatives like this one where we're trying to celebrate independence together. I think coming together, we are so much of a strong force. As you can see, if we're able to send $120 million back home, it just shows the kind of strength that we have when we work together. So let's keep the spirit of oneness, of one Zambia, one nation, one people. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. President Irene, your last words, please, quickly.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chira, for doing this. This is really, really good. I wanted to tell Don Mubanga, I've reached out to you so many times and I'm still leaving my hands open for you. Anytime you can come and, collaborate with us. Like in the past, I've told you with the insurance and the food drive, we are willing to work with you because you're just our neighbor. So let's do this so that at least you can learn from us how we're doing things going forward. And for those who are in the leaving jobs, please, this is going to be a good thing for you because you can watch at your job. You don't have to come out and say, you know what, I'm missing out what everybody is having fun. No, you can watch in the comfort of your job, in the comfort of your home. Let's do this. We are one Zambia, one nation, like you said. Thank you so much.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, President Irene. President Bela?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chira, for giving us this opportunity to speak and share our initiative. But just to the listeners, one of the biggest things I can say is please don't be an island in your community. Connect with other Zambians, connect with your local association. Especially when things are going very well for you, it's much easier for a community to rally behind you when you need support if you're actively involved and you actively support your local association and fellow community members when things are going very well for you. And the other part, of course, when we do approach you asking for support for this initiative, please have an open mind and definitely do ask the questions that you may have, but don't just say no for the sake of saying no. At least make your decision on the basis of information that you have received. So we're definitely looking forward to that community-wide support across the US and also back home as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Bela, for being here. We appreciate you and continue the hard work that you're putting up representing the state of Georgia. Thank you so much. Mr. Ngoma, any last words from you, sir?
Okay, my last words, first of all, to thank you, Mr. Chira, for providing this platform for all of us. This is a great job you are doing. And also thank you, Zanus, and all the presidents that are on this platform today from all across the country. It's, as everybody says, this is a great opportunity for us to learn and teach each other how things are going and how to get better. One other thing I'll switch back to my community here is that yes, we are living in challenging times, and just want to reiterate that please do reach out if you need help. If you need behavioral mental help, if you need anything to do with purchasing, groceries, diapers, and so on. And I forgot to mention one person, Pastor Simuzosha, Mr. Chira, you know the man very well, as I do. as well as I do. He is a counselor as well, so we would like to. He doesn't know this yet, but I will reach out to him and request that he be on the team of people that provide counseling services to members of our community that need it. And as this one, we will pay for those services directly on behalf of our community. So, but once again, thank you, Mr. Chirwa. Thanks, Zanus, and thank you all the other presidents.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ngoma. Keep up the good work. We appreciate you. God bless you. And Mr. Don Mubanga from the great state of Wisconsin.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me. And thank you to Zanus and all the presidents that, providing the guidance. We are thankful for that. And to my community here in Wisconsin, let's keep at it. There's an African proverb that says, if you think you're too small to make a difference, try living in an enclosed room with a mosquito. Try to sleep in an enclosed room with a mosquito. It doesn't matter how small your contribution is. It doesn't matter the form of the contribution. It's a contribution that is going to move somebody forward. Let's keep doing what we're doing. We are on to the right track here. So
absolutely. Thank you so much, and good luck to you in Wisconsin. It's a baby organization, but look around you. You have great support. So we wish you well in all your endeavors. Thank you so much for being here. And in wrapping up, Miss Inga, if you can unmute your microphone. Any last words from you, real quickly?
Certainly. First of all, let me say thank you to you, Davis, for this platform. We really appreciate it. And I think we've used this platform more during this COVID season, more than ever. So like I said, there's a lot of good things that are coming out of this COVID-19 season. There's a lot of bad, but I think also we need to also look at the positives, and also just how much technology plays a major role in our ability to stay connected. We're still able to make an impact despite our inability to move physically from one location to the next. We're still able to make an impact. So thank you to you, your training and your dedication and time just to your community. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And to Zanus, my fellow leaders, thank you for everybody for allowing to brainstorm, having different ideas, welcoming our differences and the various views that we may have. Yes, we're all leaders, but we all come from different aspects, different backgrounds, but we're able to kind of come together, and what we have in common is our love for Mother Zambia. And I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for everyone for bouncing ideas off of each other. I believe this event will be great. It will be a successful event. To my community, thank you so much for allowing me this privilege to serve you. I've learned, I've grown, and I'm hoping to continue growing. I would like to welcome anybody within the DMV area or any surrounding neighboring states or cities. Feel free to join us. You can find us on Facebook, an Association of Zambians in the DMV or DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We're also on WhatsApp. You can join our platform. It's quite active. So we welcome you. We also encourage any and everyone who comes in as Zambians. I just wanted to make this plea. Please don't hesitate to join a community. We're never in your business as leaders, and I can vouch for the other leaders. We don't get involved in people's personal lives like that. Our reason for being here, basically, and the commonality we have is Ubuntu. We want to be each other's family, because not everyone in this country has their immediate family members here. So away from home, we become each other's family members. So we're pleading with you as leaders to please don't get sick and suffer and die by yourselves. We would like to be there with you, hold your hand through the good and the hard times. We don't just want to party together. We want to be able to guide each other through the hard times. So we highly, highly encourage you, join your community, connect with someone so that someone can, as we say in Zambia, somebody can pimpola you just to make sure you're alive, just to make sure you're okay. These are unprecedented times, but we don't have to suffer alone. And lastly, President Ngoma, thank you very much for touching upon that mental health aspect. I know in our African society, it's a stigma to talk about mental health, but we've seen a lot of people struggle with this pandemic and how it has affected our people. So I personally want to commend you for taking that role and basically recognizing that our people need the mental health support aspect just as much as they need food, because if you're not together mentally, you're not going to be together in all other aspects of your life. And just like we saw with Annie in Colorado, we're told that, you know, her demise ultimately was a result of her mental health, her mental illness. We don't know if we could have made a difference by having a supportive community. I can't speak on that, but I do believe that there's a difference when people don't feel so lonely and so alone. So thank you to my fellow leaders and everyone. So bravo, we're going to have a great concert. I'm looking forward to it. So everyone have a great day and be blessed.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much to all the presidents. I'm muting your microphones here real quickly. You know, please, if you can, just spend a few more minutes waiting in the green room when I put you in the green room so that we can just wrap up behind scenes. And I truly, truly appreciate this opportunity. We know how difficult it is for us to get together as leaders and just to agree on anything, but we don't have to agree on everything. All we have to do is just get started. So thank you so much for representing various great states, and you can see from the comments that people are excited, and please feel encouraged by this moment, and we wish you well, and we are behind you 100%. So we're looking forward to the upcoming Zambian Independence Party sometime in October. So we'll be waiting on the details from Mr. Fred and Mr. Noah to give us all the information going forward. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking this 2 hours of time to be here, and for the viewers who watched us, we see you thank you for being here for 2 hours, just watching and listening attentively to what's being said. Again, this is just the beginning, and by popular demand, we're going to go back to my little brother back home, Mr. DAEV, to wrap up the show as we continue to enjoy the weekend. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Mask up. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Good night.
It's never been easy. It's never been easy.
I'm feeling it.
It's your boy, na.
Stash on the beat.
It's your boy, DAEV. It's never been easy to stay in love with you. Venanga mutima ukali upanya because of you. Ever in memory lane, it feels like yesterday. When you say I do, baby boy, I am the one for you. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. They don't know what we've been through when I knew. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. They don't know what we've been through when I knew. Now tell me, do you remember, baby? Adezi yako dala, baby. I brought you letters, Bakachungulo, I brought you flowers. It's a journey what we been through, baby. Nika journey what we been through, baby. Baby, ni we fighter, soldier. Number one, ukumutima, my lover. You my ride or die. You forever by my side. Pasa kusanka, ninga sanke you again. Never nakateka, kumutima wanga again. But I should let you know, it's never been easy to stay in love with you. Venanga mutima ukali upanya because of you. Ever in memory lane, it feels like yesterday. When you say I do, baby boy, I am the one for you. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. They don't know what we've been through when I knew. Bayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. They don't know what we've been through when I knew. Kula inalokelapo, voipa bana kambilapo. Bambilisi bana bilifepo, but we are here, mami. Suna chiteko vachoncho, foko nandalama. Nimutima unasanka, that's why I am happy loving you. Pesha ya kwele, yeah, I will be with you. Yes, yeah, I will fight for you. Pesha ya kwele, yeah, I will be with you. Yes, yeah, I will because of you. Yeah, back in memory lane, it feels like yesterday. When you say I do, baby boy, I am the one for you. Kayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. They don't know what we've been through when I knew. Kayesa kupanya, bafuna kutiluvyanya. They don't know what we've been through when I knew. Kayesa kupanya. Kayesa kupanya.
See Mac Mr. Dazzle.
It's your boy.